Hi, everybody. Did you miss me? It's 2022 and my butt has been away for a while, and here we go.
Now shut up. The show's starting.
Hi, everybody. Here we go. Oh, my gosh. You know, I have found out that when I put these shows together, when I plan something, it's okay. But when I have these spur-of-the-moment shows, I'm sorry, it's just getting a little boogie because I've been drinking. So, it's Sunday in Las Vegas, and I'm having a cocktail. Let me bring this down just a little bit. There we go. Oh, my gosh, we're going to have so much fun today. I can't wait to say hello to everybody that I've missed. And let's see, what else? I was talking to my girlfriend, Corbie Mitleid, who is like one of the top psychic mediums astrologers. She hasn't been on the show in months, right? And so she and I were talking, and so she said, "Hey, I'll come on." I said, "Are you serious?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'll come on." So unexpectedly, she's decided to pop in and she's pulled a couple of tarot cards. She's talking to me about another potential guest, another friend of hers. I guess I'm like the psychic whisperer. Every freaking psychic or astrologer seems to be drawn to my Jew ass. I don't get it, but it happens. But anyway, I see her. Oh, there she is. She's down here waiting in the wings. Would you all welcome my girlfriend, psychic medium and astrologer. We love her, Miss Intuitive, the lovely Corbie Mitleid. There you go. Woo! Hey, Corbie.
Hello, darling, and Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Oh, shit. I just hit the wrong thing. There we go. I meant to put the applause. There's Corbie.
All right, that's all right.
People have no idea that I run all these buttons and everything here. Let's bring this down. Okay, there's so many. Oh gosh, there's Taylor Humphrey. Hey Taylor. There's Angela is new. What is this? It's Good Morning Esther morning here in New Zealand. Coffee brewing, ready to tune in. We just love that. And Nissa Ray gets the she was the first person. She was in here like 40 minutes before the show went on. She was already sitting here waiting, so we love her. There's there's Miss Nikki Luongo. We love her. Wait a minute. There's Nix Luongo. Hold on. There's Nix Luongo and Nikki Luongo. What is this? Is this two different people? What the hell is this going on here? Look, there's Nix. There's Nikki. There's Taylor. And there's somebody who's unidentified who says we're looking beautiful. Well, that's both me and Corbie. Look at us. We look fabulously fierce. Oh, she says it's the same person. So, Corbie. Oh, do you love this outfit? I decided to wear this. This is my.
It's a good thing that I live in New York and you're in Vegas, or that would disappear from your closet so fast.
Can I tell you the secret about that? I mean, this is all sequined and whatever. I mean, all of these sequins. I mean, it goes all the way almost to the floor, and I got it on eBay. It was $4.99. Swear on my life. And I went, okay. Nobody, I went in $4.99. I think maybe they meant to put $499, but it was.
But they're stuck.
Whatever. And this arrived. I had no idea. It's very Debbie Reynolds. I had no idea. And so when it arrived, I went, oh my gosh. So I wear this in one of my costume changes in my show on stage here in Vegas when I'm doing it. But when the lights hit all of these sequins all the way down, it's really cool. But anyway, so how are you? Enough about my outfit.
We're wonderful. We're below zero wind chill here in upstate New York, but that's when you grab a glass of wine and you crank up the wood stove and you say, not a toe outside the door.
And my sliding glass doors are open because it's like in the 60s here today, and Little Champers is outside there. I just
rub it in. Go ahead, rub it in, Esther.
Look, there's another Wisconsin. Amy Youngsdale from Wisconsin. I bet you it's cold there. So,
yeah, I don't know.
So what'd you do during the holidays?
What I do during the holidays? Well, I pulled all of my cards for the year, which I always do the last week in December. Quiet holiday here because, the Omicron is what's in Santa's bag for everybody unless you're careful and you block up the chimney.
Correct.
So it was a very, but I'm ready to rock and roll for 2022. I am so ready for the big bug adventure to be done.
I mean, I just think, it's great. Taylor says she loves eBay. Thank you, Taylor. And Jeffrey Kennerson, it's going to be 73 here. Where's that? Where's that at, Jeffrey? I love that. Where did he go? There he goes. I mean, honestly, people, everybody always says hi and they pop in. So we try to say hi to everybody because I'm the show that cares. I really care. But at the same time, last week, hold on. I have to say hello to this gentleman right here. This is Vittorio Esparza. He has done my makeup for years. And he designed, I don't know if you noticed, Corbie, but I've had a softening in the last year. And it's because of Vittorio, who does my makeup. And he did the makeup for this project that's going to be streaming around the world soon. But he decided, look at this. So he did the base and then just a little on the eyes. And those are my lashes. Yeah, they really are. Wow. And a wonderful Armani. Giorgio Armani makes this incredible makeup. And so the base is Giorgio Armani. And then the Guerlain for the blush. Guerlain tanning for the blush. Mm-hmm. And he said, enough with the red stuff on your face. It makes you look older. This is more earthy tone. And I was like, wow. But anyway.
If he's ever in New York State, I will grab the man. I will. I mean, up here in upstate with the sheep and the cows, they do not care what this looks like. But I would love to be as gorgeous as you when the camera goes.
Well, let me tell you, Victoria's had some health issues recently. He's in the hospital and everything. So we have a GoFundMe. And you know what, Victoria, if you can put it up, you can put the link up later. Just put the GoFundMe there because he's like, some of us with health care and stuff like that, but he had a very serious operation. His roommate came home and found him on the floor, and it scared us all. So you can put that up there, Victoria, because I don't have the link here, but we love you, and there you go. Anybody wants one of the best? I mean, he's incredible. Anyway, back to you and I. You were telling me about what was happening with the world. You pulled some cards. You said you also pulled some cards for today, correct? But we're going to we'll get to them in just a second because, I just want to know, do you have any not live shows, in-person shows, or has Omicron screwed that up?
No, honey. While it's the big bug adventure, I mean, in Albany County, New York, there were over 1,000 positives in a single day.
Oh my God.
No way will I go outside and see anybody. I mean, I go to the grocery store at 10 o'clock at night now because nobody's there.
Are you doing any online workshops or anything like that?
Yeah, I do. For one thing, I'm really kicking up my Patreon this year because people have said, we really want to learn with you. And no, I don't want to charge somebody $3,000 for a course. That's nuts.
No.
So you support me on Patreon. You get together with me once a month at one level, another it's once a month and then courses. And you get to meet the other people, I call it in the nest, because these are people who are really serious about wanting to know what's behind the wiki-woo. And when you come in, if you want a reading, I'm there, but I have a couple of real master readers. In fact, there's a fabulous Canadian, her name is Frankie Wood, and she is Riker to my Captain Picard in those circles. So, she is my number one. We're definitely doing that.
Because you came on the show so quickly and I wasn't expecting you to pop in, what I'll do is when the show goes up, I'll add all of that. I don't know if the Patreon link, you want to put that, you'll send it to me and I'll add it. Not now, but later.
You bet.
We'll Patreon. Sure. I was thinking about Patreon because I was shocked. I was shocked at all of these people who do what I do and they have Patreon accounts. And I mean, they have 4,000 and 5,000 people paying like $3 or $5 a month.
The thing is, if you love Esther and you would go out and you'd buy her a coffee or a vodka,
right?
You can do that once a month with Patreon, and then you get more Esther. And why would you not want that? Right?
Right, just the same way with you. So, so I'm loving this though, because what you were telling me, that's really cool. So we're gonna put that up, and so help you out there and get some people,
Okay,
because I think it's
that's good.
listen, I think it's a great idea. I had Patreon like 10 years ago, and then I just let it go. You know,
Oh no, it's different now. People are serious about it.
seems like
Nikki,
everyone's
you're absolutely right. But the thing about Patreon is you only have to support the people you love.
right.
That's the key. That's the
Interesting.
key.
Interesting. Hold on. All the way. We got everybody. We got Connecticut, New Zealand, and I'm sure our friends from London will be here. We've got, I mean, people are Phoenix. Of course, you know, Jeffrey Tennyson, 73 in Phoenix. Yeah, please. Of course, it's 73 degrees there. Trying to brag about the weather in Phoenix. Just a bunch of old people in dry air. Oh, wait, that's Vegas too. Oh,
Yeah, well, sorry, darling.
so okay. So
Yes.
you and I were talking earlier, and you were telling me about this friend of yours, Pat Dumas,
Mhm.
and you said,
Yes.
Esther, watch her video that you sent me, and which
Mhm.
got us into the discussion about the world, you know.
Yes.
And I think, no, I don't know if anybody watched CBS Sunday This Morning, which is what got us on the conversation. CBS
Yes.
This
Oh,
Morning.
tell them about that. Oh my God.
So CBS This Morning, I love that show. I mean, they have incredible interviews, and if you can watch it, you can watch it online again. Great stories. But they had a psychic medium tarot reader on, and I could tell the woman was very good. However, the way they edited it, she really didn't do doodly squat, because what happened was the presenter thought, you know, she thought the presenter was going to give her his information to do the tarot cards on. And so, but the presenter lifted up a blank, the cover, and said, no, we want to know what's going to happen in the United States in 2022 with all of the craziness going on. And of course, you know, she was like, and then, oh, but it's not so bad, because look at this card, and it said love. And I'm going, that's it. So anyway, that's when you and I were talking, and you said this woman,
Mhm.
Pat Dumas, and I was like taking note. Oh no, that's my grocery list.
Mhm.
I was
No,
taking
that's
notes. And I was like, wow. So anyway, do you have a lot of people asking you about what's happening in the world, or what's going to happen
these
in
days,
the world? I mean,
all of us. Yeah, still 95% of my calls and contacts are still, does Bruce love me? I mean, that's
of
just
course.
where it is, no
Right.
matter what year it is.
Right.
But I pulled some cards. Look, what people have to remember is we're coming right back to, I believe it is the natal chart of the United States when it was born in 1776. I believe it's the Pluto return.
Right.
And again, all of this is Pat Dumas, you know, the best astrologer I've ever met. But I pulled some of my own cards with this, and look, it is not glurpy purple with angels time. I mean, you and I are just absolutely freaking honest with each other, right?
Correct.
Going to do the same thing here. I pulled some cards for the year, and kids, you need to put on your seatbelt. You do. Now, let me explain them. They're not quarterly. This is not January, February, March, etc. But I pulled four. And the first one is the Tower card. Now,
Okay.
people see that as doom, gloom, and destruction, but I see it as the imploding sports stadium card. Okay. Yankees want to build a new stadium, they have to blow up the old one. So
Right.
a lot of what is happening is we need massive, I don't care if you're an elephant, a donkey, or a kangaroo. We need massive amounts of reform in this country. And that is, Nikki, baby, you got it right. Margot Channing is going to be the patron saint of 2022.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Wow.
So there needs to be change. Now, the next one is the Princess of Cups. In some cards decks, it's the Page of Cups. And this is new ideas, new people coming in. So there's going to be a lot of fresh energy that wants to move forward.
Right.
But this is what I call the archetypal Italian guy card. You know, jealous, possessive, wants what he wants when he wants. It doesn't care whose blood's in the sword. I grew up right across. And no, I grew up right across the river from South Philly, so I know.
Boy.
But what that means is there's going to be a lot of stress and a lot of pressure. And this is the card that people see, oh my God, it's deep impact. It's not. But the death card is death of an old way of life, death of what you've outgrown, death of what was never you in the first place. So is the country going to have to change? Yes. Is it going to be delicate, like switching your seats at a tea party? No, kids. It's not even going to be a Chinese fire drill. It is going to be, how seriously do you want to change the world? And every one of you has to step up. Okay?
Right.
You love your peeps, you love your tribe, you love your folk. That's what brings you success. Is you can't just sit back, eat your Doritos and say, the world is crazy. Nothing's going to change. And you're just going to have to deal with it. It's, what will it be like for the rest of the world? Angela, it's pretty much going to be that way. Look at how it's like a set of dominoes. You've got us, and then you've got a lot of the European countries. They're changing their prime ministers. You've got Russia with Ukraine. The world is at a tipping point. But if you look back, what was it like in the teens and 20s in the 20th century? We had World War I and then the Roaring 20s. And then we had the Depression. We can get through this, but you have to give up the idea that it's going to be going back to the way it nicely was in 1999. It won't be. Nikki, I don't see that. Certainly, we're not going to be attacked by foreign people, but this country, you've got the Hatfields and the McCoys, you've got the blue and the gray.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to have a civil war like, Gettysburg and the First Battle of Manassas? No. But there is going to be a war of ideals, a war of ideas, a war of identity.
Right.
And a war of who runs this place. There may be for the next few years, you are not happy.
Oh, of course not.
But, all right, I'm going to say, if a snake sheds his skin, while it's getting too tight on him, he gets grumpy. But then it splits and he slithers out and he's a happy boy.
Right.
Because he's got his nice friend. And so we're in that getting ready to crack our old shells and move forward.
Right.
You have to be ready for that.
I was watching Pat's thing, and you were right on about everything, because she was saying March the 2nd. She was talking about a Pluto, Mars, Venus, whatever. But she said with the Pluto and the Mars means violence.
And you know what? It's also Ash Wednesday of all things.
Oh my God!
So I mean, you're getting everybody on board.
And what happened? By the way, about Ash Wednesday, if on Thursday you see people with ashes on, they didn't take a shower. So
yep,
right
on target. Right on target.
But she was talking. One of the things I noticed that she was talking about, she's just saying what you were just saying. There's going to be a major adjustment for the United States of America. It's like going to the chiropractor. And she was worried about. But one of the things that she was talking about conspiracy theories. But the one thing that really and that really got to me was when she was talking about the Supreme Court. Did you see that part?
Yeah.
She said there could be a vacancy. Someone's going to resign. They could die, but it's possible. It's possible. But, what she saw in the in the cards.
And remember one thing, guys, when you're hearing this,
right?
Even the best of us humans are only 85% accurate. The only one 100% accurate is God, and He's not doing YouTube videos this week.
No.
Right?
No. But it was just interesting about, if I will put the video up. Won't put the video, but I'll put the link to it. It's so amazing listening to this woman talk. And she was talking about due to scandalous, she was also predicting that because she's an astrologer, correct? Is that
the best?
She was doing everything based on the planets and what could happen, not what is going to happen, but what could happen.
Right.
And one of the things she was talking about was she said there's going to be a lot of resignations.
Well, we've already seen this.
Right.
There is this tsunami of Democrats who are resigning in Congress because they don't want to be part of the midterm crazies. And do you blame them?
No, but then again, but she said it was going to be both sides. But scandals. It was the whole scandalous thing that got me. But which, as we know, this January 6th commission, they're cracking open some stuff. And
I know they are. I know. And all we can hope is that when they crack open this stuff, it'll get listened to. But who knows?
And as before we went on the air, but she was talking about there's a woman who may become a martyr for something, and I don't know, it was about Roe versus Wade, but I didn't finish watching it because we had to go on the air. But
that's okay. She and I have tossed around some ideas about who it might be, but I'm not going to say on the air because I don't want anybody to get any ideas.
Right? Is it okay? Let's go here. So is it somebody may kick the bucket, or somebody may kick the bucket for them, or something?
I think that we have so much political violence these days that someone may just decide to take a high-level woman out. Right. Whether it's federal, whether it's state, there are some governors that are female. There's Congress people that are female. I don't see Kamala Harris, so stop worrying about her.
No, they were all here yesterday. So
yeah, so
they had Harry Reid's funeral, which was amazing. That was like 5 blocks from where I live.
Wow.
But no, it's people are just nervous. And they were talking. What is a yada? She was talking about.
She was talking about it's a certain astrological, YOD, like the Hebrew thing. But that's the pet. I know a schnut about astrology, the way your general practitioner doctor knows a schnut about this odd kidney thing. You go to a kidney doctor to talk about. You go to Pat to talk about all this stuff.
Right. Break out the chastity belts. One of the things about Roe versus Wade that a lot of people don't realize, even if the feds overturn it, there are still states that you can get it. Because and that's California, Nevada, but it's all New York. It's all the red states. It's all the
where that's where it's going to go down. But again, this is part of that. It's not a nice, neat divide.
Right.
I years ago, back during the Bush 2, somebody passed me a map, and Canada and the 2 coasts were blue and the middle was red. And the blue part was called United States of Canada, and the red part was called Jesus Land.
Right.
If you live in a blue state, you'll probably be pretty safe.
Right. But we are, especially if something happens with any of the Supreme Court justices, I keep thinking they're all going to go on a hunting trip together and something's going to backfire.
You're just praying for Dick Cheney.
Oh, no, Dick Cheney to take them. Even though, if you saw the other day, when they had the January 6th remembrance, Dick Cheney and his daughter were the only Republicans that went and paid homage or tribute to everybody. And you're just like, what has happened to this country?
That's how twisted the world is.
It's totally twisted. What has happened to this country that our country was almost overrun? Our country was democracy almost died on January the 6th. And it's like,
I know.
It's like, I think, here's the thing. Did you watch Biden's speech?
Yes.
Okay, so did I. I was up at 6 o'clock in the morning watching it. I think he started a little spark of fire again that needed to be there. And people go, why did he do this in the beginning? Because it wasn't the time. He couldn't. Things had to be.
He gave them enough rope to hang themselves, is the old saying. And they've proved that they have no intention of working. And, that Dino mansion. If I was going to make a prediction.
Okay.
If we get a solid majority of Republicans in the Senate where he is no longer a big cheese, that's when he'll switch to Republican, because right now he's very happy being the dog in the manger.
I have said this, and I've said this just because everybody knows I have a lot of political pundits from my time in Washington, D.C., and they come and they talk to me and they're on my page and we go back and forth. And I have been saying this. I have been saying this for months. There's things going on that we don't know about. There's things being done that we don't, T's being crossed, I's being dotted, because when they do have the indictments, they want to make sure they're lock solid indictments and that these people can't get out of it, because we know the people that we're dealing with. But when Biden would not have gone on nationally, internationally, and did what he did the other day if he didn't know something is going down the pike. You don't do that. And especially with what the hell is it with? I mean, Nancy Pelosi. I mean, she's gonna finish this, but she's done after the midterms.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. Not being a psychic, just a little intuitive myself. I think there's things gonna go down. As we know, everything changes like this with government. I mean, everything. And I just have a funny feeling that the noose is tightening around whose neck down in Mar-a-Lago, and also these texts that they're finding out. Leah, what's her name, Boebert. Some of these congressmen, the congresswomen and whatever senators, they gave tours of the Capitol a day before and 2 days before. Now, Lauren Boebert, she's crazy. She's one who did the Christmas card with all her kids with guns. She gave a tour. Now, she just got there. Well, she didn't know where everything is, but yet she was given a tour. And you just go, there was stuff going on the inside that they're going to find out is going to, I just think it's going to blow open. And that's the civil, I say maybe civil unrest. There was just an article this morning printed. One of my pundits had put it up, and it was the minutes of a meeting that happened 3 days, January 3rd, 3 days before January 6th. And they had the minutes of the meeting with the militia and how they were going to work and do what they had to do. I mean, all of this stuff was planned, and you're going to find out that it all started at the top. And that's why Liz Cheney said criminal charges could be on the table. Now, one of the things, and then the other thing that we've got going. So I just believe something's going to happen. The other thing is New York City, Letitia James, love her. They could never get Al Capone, even though he murdered and killed people and did everything. But how did they get Al Capone? What got Al Capone into taxes? And what is Letitia in the Southern District of New York going after? Taxes. And he won't be able to hide behind the Supreme Court with this whole state thing going down. And then it's crazy. But anyway,
I keep checking with my guys upstairs. Are you sure Trump is not going to be president in 2024? And they keep saying no, he will not. So
I think somebody's going to
whether that's no, you don't want anyone to knock him off, because then he's a martyr.
No, I tell the people I want him to have a stroke, and I want him to be so paralyzed that he drools spittle and he can't talk and he poops his pants and he's everything that he made fun of. And that's what I want to happen. I want him to
remember the movie Dave.
Oh yeah.
You'd better make sure there are no really good impersonators for the Donald before you wish a stroke on him.
Well, there's a few that are out there, but you can tell. I don't think anybody could double for him. That's just scary. Who would want to be that overweight and whatever? What was it? What did Nikki say? One count of tax evasion and a nice case of syphilis, because he died of syphilis in Alcatraz. What a way to go.
Okay.
But no, I just feel, I don't know. Obama had said, this country will heal itself. You've said what you've said. I saw what Pat said, and everyone that I have talked to have said, Marla Freeze, all of them that have come on my show have said, it ain't going to be a bed of roses. No, this isn't going to be a kumbaya, but there's going to be some upheaval. But we will get through this, but it's going to be tough. There's more.
Go
ahead.
There is. When someone comes to me and their relative is ill, I remind them that you always get a healing, but you don't always get a cure. A cure would be everything goes back to 2008,
Right.
Obama won. But a healing, sometimes you have to open up the infection and let it drain. Sometimes you have to amputate what can't be fixed,
Right.
but the person lives. So guys will get a healing, but it may not be a cure.
Correct.
You have to accept that.
Right. Do you think that COVID is going to go the way of the flu? That eventually they're going to have enough vaccines and pills and everything that it'll be like you get a flu shot every year. You
Probably.
get your COVID shot.
Because if you look at Omicron, yeah, it's you can write somebody a postcard and send it 1,000 miles, and if there is one little Omicron thing, the whole family goes down. Yeah, I'm exaggerating, but the thing is, they are finding it is less virulent. Remember, in the beginning, when you got COVID, it was, it was a crapshoot. Would you be okay? Would it be long COVID or what? And then Delta came along and it was worse. But now, between the double vax and the boosters, it's much less virulent. And the people who are ending up in the hospital, people who are getting the long COVID, are the people who keep saying, I don't want a microchip implanted in me with the shot. Guys, you're carrying around a phone with GPS. You think the government doesn't know where you live.
Right.
Get a clue.
I know. And I was watching the news this morning. I was watching Face the Nation, not Face the Nation. I forget what the hell it was. And I was watching also the evening news last night. And it's 90% of the people who are dying in the hospital from COVID, even Omicron, are dying because they didn't get a vaccine.
That's right. And some of them, as they are dying, say COVID's a hoax.
Right. And some are saying, can we please get the vaccine? Honey, it's too late.
Yeah, that's right.
And all of this started with that dingling in Mar-a-Lago, putting it out there, and then Fox News putting it out there. And that's the other thing that I was reading about this morning in the New York Times.
Hannity.
They're finding out that the president, the former president of the United States, he was being driven and given ideas by Fox anchors. And most of them aren't journalists. Chris Wallace quit. And I think, what's his name? Brummer. I can't, the last name with a B. There's only two people. Well, Chris is gone. There's like one person left that's actually a real journalist at Fox. But they were talking about it. Jeanine P.R.O, that crazy woman. Hi, this is Jeanine P.R.O. I mean, the woman who used to be, I guess she worked for the Trump administration, pretty girl, but she's talking to the January 6th commission, and
Stephanie Grisham.
Stephanie Grisham. And she was talking this morning about Trump would come downstairs for breakfast and be going, Sean Hannity and Jeanine P.R.O gave me ideas that we need to follow. So he was getting advice from these crazy people. And they also had a direct line to the president of the United States of America, the former president of the United States of America. Resignations and whatever that Pat Dumas was talking about, I think it's going to be all over the place, with people going down, resignations. It's not, it's not just the government.
From your mouth to God's ears, Esther.
Well, it's true. When you say government, here's a Fox News thinking they're the government. There was that. It is just amazing to me how this network basically, prunes and cultivates the uneducated, and they have them right here in the palm of their hand. Uneducated. You know
why they have them in the palm of their hand? Because in the other hand is their money.
Mm-hmm. And Trump is the biggest grifter in the world. The man. That's right. He's making millions. He even has the Republicans paying for his lawsuits in New York City.
I know.
So, oh God, here's this idiot love face. I have this. I'm telling you, I'm getting popular now when people are sped. You see that person spamming love I don't know. Online strips without clothing. I have no idea. Okay, there it is. I'm trying to they just keep coming at me. Block the user. Okay, there he goes. So I'm getting popular when this crap happens. Anyway.
All right.
So, okay. Boy, we covered a lot of stuff.
Huge.
Okay, we're gonna ask you guys some questions. We're gonna ask you to ask us some questions. If there's anybody out there has anything you want to add that sometimes Corbie might be able to pick up on, she may not. But
either that, or if you want your numerology for the year, I need your birthday, month, and date, and then I'll figure out what is your year going to be like. Because our years go in 9-year cycles.
What do you think of the rooster? Oh, the rooster. What do you think? The Chinese astrology. Yeah. I'm the year of the cock. Go figure.
Oh,
I am the rooster. I put it up yesterday. I was putting up this thing. I was putting up this thing yesterday about my the rooster for the year. They had this whole thing.
Yeah,
it was pretty right on.
Yeah,
I was shocked. Okay, hold on. We love us some Nikki because she's okay. I would love my numerology 0621, June 21st. What else?
All right. So, Nick, this is how we do it. So 6 plus 21 is 27. Then we add the master number for the year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. So 27 plus 6 is 33. Always check my math. 3 plus 3 is 6. You bring it down to the single number. Nikki, darling, a 6 year is the year of the soggy shoulder board. Everybody's going to come to you and go, oh, Nikki, you're going to go, here's a sponge, take a number. Okay. Next year for you is a 7 year. It's a sabbatical year. You can tell them all to take a hike. But this year, you're the designated wine bucket, spelled WHINE, baby. So suck it up and deal.
Woohoo. All right. Here's Angela, who's all the way in New Zealand. She comes to every single show. She's been to every single show. June 28th, 1968. She's a Cancer.
All right. So she is 34 plus 6. She's a 44. All right. A 4 year, Angela, I want you to think about the phrase 4 square and solid. This is not your adventuresome year, your creative year, your social year. It's the year to put money in the bank, your house and your car in good repair, and you got a job. It is a good year for all the practical stuff. It's a good year for career, and it's a great year for buying real estate. Okay. Karen, she's 8 plus 6. Oh boy.
I could never do this.
Karen, darling, you're a 5 year this year. And a 5 year is tanks are rolling, take no prisoners, Yahoo lady, go for the gusto, take your risk. It is the year you need to do it different. Your mantra is, if it's new, it's for you. Because if you kind of try to keep doing the same things routine over and over again, you're like the little kid with a foot nailed to the floor who does not understand why the scenery isn't changing, no matter how fast she runs. Okay?
Wow.
So no routine this year. Reach, stretch, explore, baby. That's your thing.
And then
all right, Amy. Amy, so that's all right. Amy, you're a 7 year. Remember what I said to Nikki about the 6 year. A 7 year is when you get to tell the rest of the world to piss off. You're going to the top of the mountain to talk with God. But when you get there, it's hello, God. It's me. Can we talk? I'll take notes. A 7 year is kind of when you have to read your own entrails. What am I here to do? What do I want to keep, switch out, or dump? And it's also a very important year for you health-wise. You got sex, drugs, rock and roll, or you got diet, exercise, and meditation. Whatever you do, you're going to get twice the bang for the buck. So for God's sake, do the smart thing, will you?
Interesting. Okay, how about me? Oh, what was it?
When are you, baby?
August 8th. Oh, no, August 3157. I'm an old
So
person.
you're, all right. I'm still older than you. All right, so that's 39 plus 6. Okay, kiddo, you're in a 9 year this year. It's the end of the cycle. And a 9 year is when you hold the celestial garage sale. You're going to get rid of everything in your life that's busted that you've never gone to fix, you've outgrown, and was never you in the first place. Bad dogs, bad haircuts, bad jobs, goodbye. Because New Year's Eve, God is going to take your Etch-a-Sketch and do this and clear it.
This New Year.
2020. Yes, 2023 is going to be a 1 year for you. It's going to be all kinds of fresh energy. And like the saying goes, you don't want to be cleaning up from the last party when you're setting up for brunch.
That's so weird.
So this year, dump it, dump it, dump it.
What I find interesting is that I've been cleaning out my closets. I've been doing all kinds of things in the last week or so. It's sort of like the spirit has moved now. Okay, we got time for one more. And that is James. Hey, James, here we go.
Okay, so James is 4 plus 16 is 20, plus 6, 26, 2 plus 6 is 8. James, remember what I said about the 4-year? It's double for you. 8 years are career years. I'm starting an 8-year this year myself and have high hopes. So this is when you put pedal to the metal for career. It's when money is likely to come your way. People who have owed you money will return it. Yeah, you might win a little lottery money. I'm not saying, none of us won the almost $750 million last week, but
I tried.
This is the year. It's all about the material stuff, the practical stuff, how you set up your foundation in the world. That's where you go.
That was so sweet of you to do that. Thank you.
Oh, sure.
Every single person said thank you. And that is what's most appreciated, is when you get a little thing like this. No, that's so wild. No, it's so, I mean, you and I were talking on the phone earlier today, and I was just saying, that's just some crazy stuff going on with my life. I think, yes, there's a lot of shake. I think what you were talking about, like shaking up like the Esther sketch, I think this entire year, there's a lot of stuff that are going into place. The seeds have been planted, but this is going to be a good year for me because I'm going to be seen a lot, I think, all over the world before the end of the year is done. With a couple of
that will show you what you can kick to the curb with absolute impunity.
Easy. And James said, thank you. You're welcome, James.
Welcome, James.
What does this say? It's funny. All the birthdays mentioned are with the same 4 numbers, 4, 5, 6, 7, and
9.
And 9. There she goes. That's so
and
cool.
8. So yeah, no, nobody repeated. So we didn't get a 1 person, we didn't get a 2 person, we didn't get a 3 person, but I think we got everybody else.
Yeah, and I love this person. Everything is growing into place, Esther. Well, thank you, Amy. You're a sweetheart. Now, do you ever have? I mean, one of the things I've done is I introduce you all. I introduced like Corbie to Lewis to Debbie to you. I mean, we already knew each other, but I find did you meet Marla yet? I remember I did that.
I think we did this a little bit, but it was the end of the year. But no, I frankly think there needs to be a super secret Facebook page, Esther's Kids. And all of your psychics go and join that Facebook page, and we can do a little back and forth so that we can support each other.
I'm going to set up a private page like that for all of you because
I love it.
I sent the email to you and introduced everybody to everybody. And
yes, I said yes, but then it was
because of the holidays. Because of the holidays is what it was. But no. I'm going to do that because it's like the story with Marla was I met her at the shopping center and she said my dog wanted me to stop giving him pot and CBD hemp or whatever it was. And then she came on the show and we just had this incredible connection. And now we've only met once in person, but she came on the show, but I felt like I've known her forever. It's like with you. You and I have never met in person.
No, it was Allie. It was Allie. Remember back in the 1950s, the Hirschfeld drawing on My Fair Lady. You had Liza being manipulated by Higgins, being manipulated by Shaw. Allie was Shaw. Allie did it all.
Right. And she did. And no, I just feel I don't know. I'm gonna do that. That's my little what's the word I want to use? My little project for this week is to set up this secret private group. The private group. I think we'll call it mystical whatever. Esther's mystical page.
Esther's mystical whatever. I think that name is absolutely perfect.
I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I mean, I was like, I had started let's see, Mercury goes retrograde this week.
I think yes.
Yeah,
wait,
no,
I may have my papers.
17th or the 18th. I think
we're in the shadow now. Is where we are. Let me check my paperwork.
Somebody goes. Esther's magic school.
Mercury enters retrograde on December 29th, 21. Stations and turns retrograde on the 14th of this month. Turns direct on February 3rd, and you're out of the shadow on February 24th.
Gotcha. the Allie Chess. Well, Allie already has a page, the White Sky Cloud. So, I mean, that's her page. So we're not going to go there. No, we maybe Esther's Magic School Bus. Well, I'll come up with something. It'll be a page just for you guys.
Sounds great.
Because I
The
have
Magic School Bus, you sound like a cross between Miss Frizzle and Timothy Leary. I'm not sure we want to go there.
We're like, oh, here, stick this little piece of paper on your tongue.
No.
And everybody on this page right now knows what the hell we're talking about.
Yes, we do.
We come from that generation. That generation.
We do.
But no, I yes, I'm a little nervous about stuff. But you know what? I've been around since Kennedy got shot, the Vietnam War, Nixon resigned. I just see hold on. There we go. Blessings from Ireland. Hey, Yvonne. Woohoo. And Rick goes, yes, we do.
I want to remind people, even in the depths of the Depression, there were people that had money. Roofs over their head, enough to eat. There were movies. Life went on. Was it tougher? Yes. But it doesn't mean that we're going to go back to pre-industrial Neanderthals with a club.
Remember what happened at the height of the pandemic. People, we're still here. We're still here. Same thing.
Yes, we are.
We like that. What was that song in Annie? We like to thank you, Herbert Hoover, for what you've done to us today.
Oh, yeah. And remember Y2K? We were all going to explode with our computers.
Right. Remember?
On the first day of 2000.
It was
nothing happened.
Nothing happened. In fact, I called my first tour when I was in DC. When I moved to DC from New York City, after leaving Nashville, I called my first show, my tour was the Y2K tour, which was Yenta to Kick Butt. And I remember we all sat around as it struck midnight. Okay, guess we're all here.
No, midnight. I remember midnight 2000. I was listening to Barbra Streisand in concert. I figured if the world was going to explode, I'd go with Babs.
There you go. Oh, speaking of, Marilyn Bergman died yesterday, 93. She was the woman that wrote The Way We Were.
Yeah. So many good pieces of music.
I know. Can you? But that and everybody
before dubstep.
Yeah, right. But I mean, Sidney Poitier. Rose, Betty White, so many people died this week. But I try to explain.
They went out. They went out before the crazy starts.
I love Betty White going on New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Mike Nesmith, even.
Right. It's like, we're done. You take care. Now, like I was saying before, people. I feel like I should be on Ritalin sometimes, reading all these things and trying to give everybody trying to let everybody know that we're paying attention to them. But it's like we have survived a lot. We just went through the pandemic where Las Vegas closed down. And if you were smart, what people don't realize, and I got help, was that the government was here to actually help us with loans, with grants. The cities set things up for people with rent. And I'm like, these idiot people are getting evicted, and there were things in place for you to get your rent taken care of by the government because they had set all this money aside. I helped a friend of mine in LA who was a producer. And I said, hey, I'll show you how to get your rent paid if you're not making money. And, there were so many people, but so many people don't have sense enough to look at the computer, go online. And those are the people that the Republicans love.
But I have to remind you, the government helping, that even happened under the Trump administration.
Yes.
So even if we go back to a Republican in 2024, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden, they are the kings and we are all the serfs. This is not going to be 1452.
No, I don't know why, but for some reason I see Pete Buttigieg moving in someplace. I see his star rising.
Preach.
And the reason being, and there were some people in my building here in Vegas that live up in one of the penthouses, and they are diehard Trump Republicans. But believe it or not, this one woman who I can't really deal with, but she said to me, she would vote for Pete Buttigieg. She would have voted for Pete Buttigieg if he was running for president over Trump. And she's against gay marriage. She's against everything. And I just
Pete is so articulate. Pete knows how to talk directly to people. He is not a slimy politician. That's part of it.
right.
That's part of it.
And I think what's happening is he's getting some on-the-job training right now, being one of the secretaries of transportation, right? Yeah, Secretary of
Yes.
Transportation. So he's learning the whole thing. I do love how his husband, they adopted I don't know if they adopted the kids or had the surrogate mother, but
Surrogate parents, I think.
the surrogate
Yes.
parents. And his husband just ripped all these rednecks apart yesterday. Or 2 days ago, just saying, how heathens and whatever, but having the children.
Jason. Yay, Jason.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to make such a first gentleman.
So, somebody had said to me, in fact, I had said before he picked Kamala, I said, I have a funny feeling he might pick Pete Buttigieg as vice president. But I think we needed Kamala and Biden. I'm not sure. I mean, Biden he's aged just in this first year already.
Yes.
And I don't think if he does, he's going to run again, I'm sure, but he hasn't actually said if he's going to run again. But I have this funny feeling that listen, president, they all look at Obama's gray now.
Yeah, I know.
It takes its toll. And Biden, I truly believe Biden was here for a reason, to make us have this transition, or else we would have gone crazy.
Yes.
And but I don't know why, but Pete Buttigieg just is people like him. He's the only one that goes on Fox.
I know. As far as Joe goes, I was so mad he did not run in 2016. If he had, he would have wiped the floor.
Right.
With Trump. But it could be, this is where you do the bigger think. It could be that if he had, we would have tottered along still in our old creaky snakeskin that Trump is forcing us to break.
Right.
So we can open up and reheal.
America looking at itself going, how did we ever let that man become president? You're right. I think you're right on with that. You're 100%. What is the old thing? Everything happens for a reason.
Part of it. And, if you look at him as the devil or Hitler incarnate or blah, 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 you're falling into the trap in that evil.
I do.
Do I like the man? Oh, vomit. No, of course I don't. But when you focus just on him, he's the problem. No, you need to focus on everything that he brought to the surface.
Correct.
It's the infection that needs to be lanced and drained.
And it all started with the white racists in Virginia, when they all said, death to the Jews. Jews will not own me. Blacks will not own me. And then he said, people on both sides. That was the beginning of when they said, oh, this he likes us. And that's when it started. And then it's just gotten out of hand with the racism and the craziness. Some of the stuff listen, as when I'm not this, everybody knows I'm Michael, but I hear faggot when I go on the monorail. I hear things under their breath that never happened before here in Vegas, until he gave them the key to be racist, bigoted people. And they have he was their platform. And we've always had it in our country. We've always been here, and it just came to a head. And he allowed it to prosper. But it happened with the Civil War. It happened with the Japanese. We've had these terrible, terrible moments in our country, and we overcome them. And I think, as you said, this all happened for a reason, to lance it and cut the head off the snake or the serpent, because it's not going to be pretty. Because it's just not.
And if you're here, you volunteered to be here. This is not an accident. There is some part of your soul that says, maybe there's a part I can play. Maybe there is something I can do to shift the needle 0.1%.
Unbelievable. You've been so good here today. We've had so much fun. We had a lot of people. But for everybody who's still here, because I still see a lot of you here in the other rooms, we're going to put up Corbie's Patreon. I'm going to add all of her information on the YouTube summary description. Thank you very much. Where's my Prevagen? And so we're going to put all there. So we'll add all that to it. So when we get off here, you just email it to me and I'll add it. And then that way, a lot of people watch the show later on. There's people watching now, but we'll have it up there and they can support you. Okay.
Sounds good.
Everybody, give it up for my girlfriend. Oh, hold on. Cheers.
Cheers, my darling.
Cheers. You have been watching our fabulous show today with my gorgeous, gorgeous girlfriend, Corbie Mitleid. And you'll be able to get all the information once the show goes off the air, and I can add it all to the description. Angela, Nikki, New Zealand, Canada, Ireland, all over the world you were listening today, and we thank you so much. This is Ester Goldberg, and we'll see you next time.